Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would bring us back into the present moment and ask you to reflect for a moment as you're watching this video. Who is pushing your buttons? What pushes your buttons? And this is why I've titled this video exactly that. What is pushing, or who is pushing your buttons? And this is important for us to understand when we are maybe a little bit away from present moment thinking. So I thought I'd start this video with this quotation by Eckhart Tolle to bring us into the present moment. It says, "The power for creating a better future is contained in the present moment. You create a good future by creating a good present." And this is why I'd like to bring your attention to how you are thinking right in this moment. And when I've asked you what pushes your buttons or who pushes your buttons, did something come to mind? Perhaps you want to take a moment now to think, does something come to mind? And most probably, for each person, something can easily come to mind. Now this, whatever came to mind, is it a present moment experience? Is it happening right now? Likely not, although if you've just had an argument with someone, or you've just had some rush hour traffic that you've driven through, you just had someone yelling at you, you've just spoken to someone that you're worried about, all of this will be in your mind in the present moment. Equally, sometimes people will hold on to something from, oh yeah, that thing that happened yesterday, or the thing that happened 5 days ago, or 5 years ago, or a lifetime ago. And so this is useful for us to see, where is our mind in the present moment, because our thoughts do create our experience. So I wanted to bring this quotation to you and remind you that most spiritual traditions talk about this present moment thinking, because of this quotation that I'll share with you by Marcus Aurelius. It says, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And this is such an important thing to remember, because when we're looking at soul power, which is something that so many have forgotten about, and certainly I'm looking forward to helping you remember, and it's the work that I do too, so do reach out to me if you're curious about having some personal help. For now, I've got these videos, and for you to focus on what is being taught in these videos or shared with you in these videos, and see if you can reflect and apply some of the things that I'm teaching here. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Now remember, if you know this, the soul is a pure energy. It's pure, it's divine energy. Yet it comes through the equipment of our mind, our bodies, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our expressions, our actions, our behaviors. All of that, the soul comes through, and then it becomes dyed with the color of the thoughts, because the thoughts precede everything. So if we are mindfully aware of our thoughts in this moment, we then create our life experience based on that. And then, of course, I wanted to make sure that you know that, again, here, of course, I'm influenced by some Hindu traditions and customs. And I want to remind you that this is the same information that is learned, is that which is shared by learned scholars, saints, ministers, priests, teachers, and friends. When we have a knowledge about this, we can share and teach this, and we can practice it to see how this really is effective in our lives. So today I thought I'd share one quotation by Swami Vivekananda. And this one says, "We are what our thoughts have made us. So take care about what you think. Words are secondary. Thoughts live. They travel far." Same information that Buddha would have said. The same information this Swami is saying from Hindu tradition is the same information that Marcus Aurelius was saying from Christian tradition, which is the same information that actors are saying, which I'm going to read you the next quote, which is this one by Morgan Freeman. And it says, the ancient Egyptians had a beautiful belief about death. When their souls got to the entrance to heaven, the guards asked 2 questions. Their answers determined whether they were able to enter or not. Have you found joy in your life? Has your life brought joy to others? Ah, don't you love this? And so now I come back to this whole idea. What are the thoughts in your mind right now? Most often, they are not joyful thoughts because the mind has been trained to focus on what is not easy. So if I'm not joyful about my current living situation, if I'm not joyful about my job, if I'm not joyful about a relationship, if I'm not joyful, that's what's in my mind. And what do I think about what is not joyful? How can I fix this? What would I do? What do I need to do different? Sometimes people think about what do I need to do. More times than not, it's what does the other need to do? What does a boss need to do to hire me? What does the world need to do to appreciate me? What does my friend need to do to give me more time? Whichever way we look at this, oftentimes we look outside of ourselves of what can be done for me. And that's very ego-centered, isn't it? And then we also can look at ourselves and say, why didn't I do this? I should have done this. I wish I didn't do that. I regret that I didn't do this. All these regrets and guilts and self-blame even. So this is the blame and shame cycle. We can shame another of, wow, because they didn't do that is why I feel like this, or why I'm experiencing this, or it's because I didn't do this is why I'm experiencing this. This cycle, if we can pay attention to our minds through mindfulness and pay attention that, wow, the mind does go back and forth into this. Now, to bring joy into our moment, to recognize that at the end of our lives, we really do want to know. We want to know, have I brought joy to myself? Have I brought joy to others? And really, these are the most basic questions that anyone can ask ourselves today. Today, I would encourage you to ask yourself this question, because what we have turned into as a society is it's almost like someone else has the control on us. So whether we look at social media, we look at friends, we look at family, when you're feeling good, I feel good. When you're not so good, I don't feel so good. And when you say something kind to me, I feel good. And then when you say something not so kind to me, I don't feel so good. So this is a remote control that someone's got on me, depending on how they are, depending on what I'm watching on their TV. And if we assume that we're all TVs or computers that each other are reading, it's just images of each other. We look and we think, okay, well, that person's got a scowl on their face. And I remember what a scowl means, and that means they're upset with me. This is what we are thinking. And it's because I saw the scowl on their face that I feel not so happy. So we've got into this pattern of looking outside of ourselves to shape how we feel within ourselves. And if we can shape how we feel within ourselves first, what we see on the outside of ourselves will actually reflect that. This is something that doesn't happen overnight, and it's not something that you can fake, that, oh, I'll just put on a happy face and speak really nicely with everyone and say positive things and that will show that I'm in a good space. No, your energy will emanate from you. And you will know whether you're really in a positive space. You will know whether you're able to bring yourself joy, and you can. The intention to do so is the first step. Then the focus on, where is my mind? What am I thinking? Is this helpful to me or is this not? Today, I would encourage that we all look at our own thought patterns and see, what are we thinking? Do we have control over our own minds? Do we have control over what we are thinking and where we are directing our minds? We used to. If you have lost this control, please know that you can get it back very easily with consistent effort. And sometimes, of course, my bias is some brain retraining helps tremendously. It certainly has helped me to work with these details, which are also shared in most scriptures, but certainly in Vedic scripture. I'd love for you to understand some of these ancient trainings that are coming from all sorts of traditions, to recognize that we actually can control our life experience. We can control our thoughts, which then lead to our feelings, which then lead to our words, which then lead to our actions and experiences. This we can do. We have given a lot of power away, that I can't control this. Isn't this just normal? I mean, they spoke to me like this, so of course I feel like this. They did this, so I feel like this. Well, of course this is natural. Or the world is like this, so of course I feel like this. Really? Do not match the norm. Today, you'll notice that I'm in kind of a different outfit. And today, this is a reflection of me, that I like to wear what I feel like wearing, and I was feeling kind of like the combination of a Saudi and Balinese look today. So this is Hanifa's Saudi Balinese look. So I hope you've had fun with this and recognized, and I hope it inspires you. Be yourself. Do not shape yourself with what you see around you, saying, well, because that's become normalized, that's why I'm blending in. Be yourself. Your true self is your soul nature. Your soul nature is joyful. It's peaceful. It's loving. It's compassionate. Today, I wish this for yourself, for that energy to flow through you. All of that energy will come naturally when you're paying attention to your thoughts and directing them in ways that are helpful to you. I wish you a fantastic day ahead of reflecting on this and practicing too. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.